We are with Jesse Daniel, President of the Morvant
Central Community Council.
All right. So I was in a meeting yesterday where it seemed like the committee was authenticated. What is the vision you have for this organization and the purpose?
Okay, well, first of all, let me thank you for having me here and to express the views of the people of Morvant in terms of a vision forward for what we would like to do. Now, Morvant has always been a very prominent place in the history, I should say, of Trinidad and Tobago. And many people don't know that there have been many great things that came out of Morvant in terms of leadership. You know, people don't know that, for example, the Morvant United football team was one of those that came back in the late 60s, early 70s, was one of the most powerful teams to record with. Most people don't know the history that Morvant was one of the first planned communities in not just Trinidad and Tobago, but in the Caribbean as a whole. And the structure that you see where we are standing even here now, the structure behind me, was the first constructed community center in all of Trinidad and Tobago. And in fact, I would go on to say that it was one of those few projects that was actually a self-help project where the government provided materials and the community, the elders at the time, who most of them have passed on, were the ones who did the actual work to construct. And for many years it served as the heartbeat of not just only this community, but even communities far and wide. In fact, as a youth, I recall growing up here and seeing the man they call the father of the nation, Dr. Eric Williams, who has since passed on. But I know as a child I used to see him coming here because the political party at the time, they used to have all their conventions and whatever activities, major activities used to take place on this place because it was one of the largest halls that you could have hosted any activity. And today we've come to the point now where how many years later, and we see that we have a new center being constructed. And this center, and as you can see, if you look, you could see it's going to be again one of the largest community centers again being put down in, at least I would dare to say, at least in the east-west corridor. And with that, we're happy that it's being put here, and this way Morvant will become the true hub of everything that is happening in St. George West. So we have seen it way beyond just Morvant, but seeing us expanding to a point that people will recognize that this is in fact one of the best kept secrets we have in terms of our community and what our community can do to bring forward, you know, the best that we have.
Okay, we're with Carlos Holmes.
We have experienced through the years social violence by the very social welfare organization, wherein at times they would have the community center closed, and until they're ready to open, when it's convenient to them, they come and open the community center, which we thought was wrong.
Okay.
We always believe that our community center should be open until at least 10 o'clock at night.
So you're saying they used to close before that time?
Yeah, and they didn't used to open until all around 6, 7, sometimes they didn't open at all. So they didn't have a set agenda. As I said earlier, my vision here now in the community, after living the vision and the mission says community oneness, because without that we could do nothing. All inclusive. Community is all inclusive to the people on the territory. The vision is about us being in that place where we are well represented in all areas of the community life.
Okay.
Right? To do that, it means that we have to achieve first community oneness, which is a broad cross-section. The Morvant Block Union was born in the Morvant community, out of the Morvant Community Welfare Association, to correct errors that the administration of the Morvant Community Welfare Association was making, which in itself could be considered and termed social violence. Because the Matsamabo is 1 + 1 + 1 in a continuum. We have to get us involved. We have to respect each other. The blame game and the press down game, we already too late for that. We can't entertain that. When we come together, we must come together to fix things.
So that's Sir Constantine here. You know they're going to be building the community centre.
When I came up, since then, the fighting the Bilbao Community Centre was more pull and talking business.
It's almost done. I think it's about 3-4 more months.
Community Centre was Mr. Lopez.
Okay.
We used to go on the Mango Tree there on a Sunday. And he used to lecture to us about Eric Williams and this one and thing in there. And we got everything from him.
Okay.
Then they decided to build the community center. That is after we get the school.
We didn't have it. I don't know if we had an engineer to direct, but I know I was part of the building.
Oh, you were part?
I was a little boy.
Okay.
But I have to run fast and shovel, bring the box with the nails.
There you go.
Like that, to the building of that community center and the RC school. The community center of RC. We built that with people, penny a brick.
When we put the stage down to the western end of the thing.
The community centre.
Yeah. Well, it should have been up on the other side. We don't know. We didn't know. We just on the center, we build the center.
Okay.
We build the center. We build that center. It was
That
is what I grew up on now. It was very, very sold out.
At the first ever community center built by the people in Trinidad and Tobago. The first ever built by the people, and when I say built by the people, I mean literally built by the people. The people came out and worked it, bring bucket of water, sand and cement and shovel and carpenter.
I ask you, Ansel, how old, what year were you born? Bill told me he was in 1934. What year?
Yeah?
Are you older than Bill?
I think so. I was elder than Bill. Bill and I was in a scout troop, the first mover scout troop together. And we had a plan when they get rid of the center to rebuild the center. And the sport was the trouble. We wanted the river that run between the center and
the savannah. Yeah.
was the trouble spot.
This, where I live here, was the second to last house in Nova when I came here in 1942. It was the second to last house in Nova. In 1942. There was no playground, no community center, no police station, no shop, no parlor, no nothing. There wasn't even electricity. No electricity.
Tapana Street was the last street in Morvant. Go up Tapana Street. Last street, the thing is Cicada Street. One second to last.
So Tapana was the last.
Tapana was the last. Come up to meet Cicada, come across.
And going down to the avenue.
Which avenue? There are no avenue in there.
Is there no Lady Young Avenue then?
Oh, yeah.
Lady Young Avenue.
Yeah, but Mr. Sibru, then Bill. So Sibru used to live this house, Bill, the other one, and I think some nurse or somebody, I can't remember her name. Was the last house.
You reinforcing again what Bill said, boy.
Yes, Bill was the second to last house.
So you didn't really have clover, you didn't have clover?
No clover, nothing.
Okay. Okay.
We didn't have a proper playground.
That community center that is now being built is a good step forward. As a matter of fact, I choreographed a play for the Morvant Community Centre one time. I remember two people I can remember. Mavis John was one of the people that I presented, and Dominic Williamson, funny. I first put them on stage. Mavis John and Funny.
Okay.
I was the one who put them on stage in Morvant. That was the first time we sang calypso in Morvant, in the community center. And Mavis John didn't start off as a singer. She was a dancer. She was in the dance troupe. Yeah. But she sang. She sang after that. And then it just grew.
Okay, we were Dominic Williamson. Better known as, I thought it was Lord Funny, but he's saying Master Funny now. I don't know where the Master come from. Maybe you could explain where the Master Funny come from.
I never tell nobody my name is Lord Funny. Funny, and they call me Lord Funny, Mighty Funny. So I decided to fix it for myself. I'm Master Funny.
So is that on your labels now, or is that what
that's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm doing. Master Funny. I remember I was one of the singers, one of the founders of the Masters then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and you
from 79 to 85 we were on. Shadow was the leader of the tent. You had like Croco, Rio, you had Rose passed through there, I think Blakey passed through there, and a lot of singers. We had Calypso Height and Raja. A lot of fellas know Lady Gypsy was there too.
Yeah. So you know, while you're in Dago now, you lost you or?
No, I'm here now. It's over. As a matter of fact, where I am here now is where I grew up from a baby.
Yeah.
I grew up here. I was here. No, I still proud to be Morvant because Morvant is a very talented place. A lot of talented people come out of Morvant here. It's nothing not to be proud of. I'm very proud to be from Morvant.
What was you have a relationship with Bill, or how does that go?
Oh yes, in Morvant here, Bill put me on stage in the Morvant Community Centre and thing. Of course, once you're in the business, you would be familiar. Bill, go back a long way with Bill. Bill is singing by Sparrow and thing. You would see Bill around, you know. Bill always around, and you always in everything in Morvant, limboing and jack of all trade, in the entertainment business.
Even being abroad. You saw the news and the stigma.
Yeah, what I could tell you is that in a part of Morvant, like here where we grew up in the housing area, never really had problems. Most of the problems that used to happen is on the outskirts of Morvant, not really inside. So I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. Is the place is more populated now, a new generation, and you get things. That's how things change, and that's how things gonna get. And then we live in a kind of society that I don't think we're too serious, but we talk a lot. We talk a lot, but you know.
Is that you meaning no follow up?
Yeah, like it's like every time something happens, you hear a lot of yap about it, and that's it. And then something happens again, and they keep going, and every time it happens. As a matter of fact, I have a song that I did. A little earlier this year. The name of the song is Yap Yap Blah Blah.
Okay. In those Trotman, you mentioned that Funny, Dominic Williamson and you, we actually launched you guys in the Morvant Community Centre.
Well, yeah, I was with Literary and Cultural, and there was Morvant Exupil. So whenever there were shows, I remember Funny starting as a young man, singing in the centre, and I singing in Morvant Centre too. And this East Indian fella, I think, started to manage, if I remember well. He's dead now. So Bill was the one who would have known stage, because most people saw Bill as a Calvisonian. I know Bill as a limbo dancer, so I know Bill from way back.
That's what he said.
And yes, in a way, if we were doing anything and we were doing it the way it wasn't supposed to be done, Bill was the wiser one and the older one. would have told us.
So you were a dancer, according to Bill. That's where he met you. Like you guys used to dance.
Would you believe
so
that?
I didn't.
Now I'm minus. Now I have knees that I can barely hold me up.
I mean, you as a teacher's singer, and it's until Bill said
I
that
don't understand.
yesterday.
You know Jesus Christ, but you don't know me. Jesus Christ is 15 years old.
Yeah, I knew you, but
it happens. I do sing every now and again. I'm very lucky that I wasn't a dancer. I was a singer.
Yeah.
But whenever the opportunity comes, I do. Sometimes I'm even surprised when people call and say they'd like it to sing.
Yeah, so seeing that the community center did create or was the vehicle to launch careers. One is being built now, and that's one of the reasons I'm back doing this. Profile.
I not only know it being built, even though I'm a Belmont resident, I was invited as a mover person to the meeting that we have had with the then Minister of Community and Gender Affairs, Vincent Gypsy Peters. Okay. I was at the meeting at St. Anne's. I was there, they saw turning, and every now and again I pass and I look and see the progress of how it's going, because when you look at MOVA, the kind of talent that came out of MOVA. And MOVA, I remember they say it was the first community center built in Trinidad and Tobago. And what a joy it will be that one day that will be up and functioning.
I'm willing, no matter what is going on, unless there's heavy commitment. Hopefully you can get your voice together. See you guys the day of the opening.
My voice is always 2-3 rehearsals away. Even though I may not be singing all the time. Like tomorrow I go by a keyboard player because he and I will be working together. I would be very disappointed if Mobile Community Centre is being open and Bill and Bonrick and all of us do not get a chance to be part of the thing. So that MOVA Community Centre was part of my development, because I went to St. Philip's Government and I sang in school. I went to MOVA Anglican, did music festival and all of that with Fitzjames Williams. So there's a progress. It's not one thing that propels you to where you are. It's a series of different things. When I was I went to St. Philip's Government, just behind the bridge there, Alfred Seeley and teachers worked with us. I always remember Miss Belgrave doing music with us. So the process is always long. You know what I always say? MOVA is one of the best pieces of real estate in Trinidad and Tobago, and the people of MOVA don't know that. I know that. So that's MOVA. When you come into MOVA, you know what you do? You go up on a kind of mountain range.
Yeah.
Watch it. From down by the junction, you go up.
Yeah.
From the Lady Young, you go up. You go up. I mean, when you reach MOVA, you
go down a little bit. Yeah.
MOVA is like on a mountain.
Yeah.
But MOVA people do not know what MOVA is.
They don't appreciate
all the outskirts of MOVA, where most of the problems have happened, MOVA proper has taken this. Find Ralph Campbell wherever he is. Interview Ralph. Ralph is the man Ralph didn't want me to say that, but I call him the father of theatre for MOVA. I know that I saw on the prototype that there's going to be a space for theatre. Nobody's telling me it's not there. I saw it on the prototype. I was told that it's going to be there. There is no way that MOVA could be putting a group or community together and he's not part of it.
So your referrals from Mavis John and Bill Trotman called your name. What the relations you have with those two? Yeah.
Okay, well, with Mavis it goes back to when I was doing a royal visit back in them days. I guess she had just moved into MOVA, and I always remember this girl with these bedroom eyes, sad eyes, long limbs, and full bosom. And boy, I behind she, but of course she used to sing and she was dry. She's a talent, so I behind she, and she said, Mr. Campbell, Mr. Campbell kind of leave she alone kind of thing. But what I got her involved though, she German Irish and that type of thing in the play. So as a matter of fact, I still have the script that I gave to her. I'm calling her the producer. I still have that, as a matter of fact.
And
For
Bill, did you have any contact with Bill?
Oh yeah, up to what date is that him? And me and he lovingly cuss off one another.
I haven't really met you formally, but it seems like you're very outspoken.
What does that mean?
It means that you can take Jesse to task, you cut off Bill.
Yeah, well, yes. Let us put it this way. I'm unpopular that way. Because I usually cut to the chase.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
I cut to the chase.
But where you know?
I move out here now.
Okay.
You understand? And what I am doing is I am forming a Morvant Community Centre. I'm developing a theatre here in Morvant to train actors and produce. Recently, I have been teaching at the National Theatre Arts Company here, and now I'm about bringing all this together in Morvant.
Okay, what do you think about the present situation in Morvant, with the Morvant Central Committee, with the inactivity, with sports? Well,
well, I'm glad to see that Jesse taking up the mantle and thing.
Who's Jesse?
Jesse Daniel. Well, he's the current president now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but me and he go have all kind of bites and thing and so on.
Well, that's how things progress.
Because
that's how things progress.
Don't talk on his behalf at all. Don't try that.
No.
Yeah, nobody.
No,
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Feedback.
No, but what I mean is, it is good that somebody has taken up this thing, because the mover thing nasty, boy. You understand?
When you say nasty,
well, a lot of people don't really take into consideration the community as a whole. And as I mentioned to you, the pedigree and the heritage and everything. Okay. So it isn't factored in.
You mean difficult to
you don't choose no word for me. I say nasty. I know your breaks in for your audience.
All right. So you want to see the extent the extent of the vocab.
But what you're doing is very good.
Yeah.
All Canadian mover.
Yeah.
Mover is it. But all this richness, because it is richness, tremendous experience, and there's a lot of writing to do, a lot of stuff I have. You could see how I live in it.
Yeah.
Right? I know I will not survive all of this. So at the point at which I am here now, it is about setting up the institution.
That's right.
So you get people to work. Yeah. A lot of young people who can come here and all kind of fantastic research. Yes. That is where it is at with me. So beginning with the community theatre, which I start off training actors. So we get a lot of young people come and I train them as actors, and we start to do productions, and then the theatre as such could do so much more.
So you're ready to go as soon as the community centre is completed? You're ready?
But I'm inside there.
Just the other girl is spot.
I felt in big stone. You must know what listen, hello. I've earned my place inside there. All your mad or what?
Yeah.
But of course,
hopefully you earn it, and some young people could.
No, well, you will expect that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A lot of young people, they've been badly trained, and they're not only impatient as it is of young people. When you're young, you're impetuous.
It's based on the references.
So it is good when we can recognize each other. Yes, because that has been part of the problem. We here in Morvant, you know, we don't recognize our gifts and our gifted people. We cannot appear better. And if you don't fall in and sing, you have to sing up yourself and then you're the good. No.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, but yes, indeed. Bill and Mavis, and of course Mavis is tremendous, and Bill, of course, is what they call an icon now. So I could give one set of fatting. So
you're doing your homework now, and I'll be back in March, and I'm gonna come and read your scripts. Maybe you can have a part for me. I don't know.
Really?
How did I do? How did I do today?
Well, not too bad. You kind of stumbled, bungled along.
Anyways,
with a push.
I want to thank you. For the interview, and at least you have a good sense of humor, and I think the people will enjoy it. You know.
I thank you very much.
It sounds scripted, so you look like a scripted kind of guy. All right, so thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
I was thinking to Andrew Living, but just so for a story. You drive in for a story. You drive in for a story.
Then Harry and Bill, we managed to locate Singing Sandra. We consider you part of the Morvant Love magazine. You just hinted that you were also from Laventille, so maybe you could give a little of your background, your Laventille, moving up to Morvant background.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is Morvant, Laventille, Morvant. We'll try to separate it, that is what it is. I consider it one ghetto. I consider Morvant, Laventille as an island by itself, to be honest. I was born in 14 Belgrade Street, East Drive, from Laventille. As you know, if you live in the States, I will tell you between where and where, between Laventille Road and Duke Street. I came to Harringdale Street at the age of 6. I spent my 7th birthday here. I went to Lower Morvant Government for like about 6 months and went back to Rosedale RC, Shirley Street, Laventille. Then on to ID High School, Trinidad Avenue, Benwan. So I stayed in Maria.
So where did you sing in?
I think when I realized that I loved singing was when I reached about somewhere 10, 11, somewhere around there. Yes, somewhere there, because then they started having block O and thing in Harringdale Street here, and all that was a part of helping me to realize that I loved singing that much and recognize that I had a voice.
Right.
Actually, I started in West Village. I started in West Village in Lower Morvant Way of Life, which we started as an old man's band. Andrew Griffith and Associates, he's now deceased, rest his soul in peace. They were really based in Ammon Drive, better known as 9th Story. And but the majority of people in the band were from the 4th Story. 4th Story had an abundance of talent. We had people here playing with strollers, people, Keith Salcedo from Torpedoes, all came from Handel. And we formed this group going into West Village. We went into West Village with 20 people, 1982.
You remember the name of the group?
Lower Morvant Way of Life.
Lower Morvant, okay.
And we went in with 20 people and placed 8, which was, you know, like, hey, this little group, I mean, people with 50, groups with 50 people, and we didn't have all the musical instruments and whatever, but we had a good working team and talented people. From there, we decided to invite Scouting for Talent, was roaming different areas, and we invited them in 9th Story there.
Scouting for Talent.
Scouting for Talent.
As in Holly? Yeah, okay.
And that was my first time really standing and, you know, singing in a competition. But see, I didn't place, but was well accepted and received. Morvant has been supporting me from West Village to now. The minute I stepped out there, Morvant was dear with Sandra from then till now. So I can't complain, and as I said, Morvant is very dear to my hands.
Did you ever perform at the Morvant Community Centre? Was it there when you came? Yeah,
as a matter of fact, as I was telling you, about to tell you before, when we started the West Village group, we had no home. We had a makeshift shed up in Ammon Drive there that we would use. And through Mr. Ferret.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know it's some kind of rest. Mr. Ferret, and yeah, we used Morvant Community Centre for about 5 years.
Okay, so that helped in the development, your development.
Yes, it helped the development of the West Village. People also helped my development because we had a place somewhere to practice and somewhere to, you know, showcase our wares. We did even the little things in the centre there, like we kept little tea parties and things as fundraisers for the group and the centre. But as a matter of fact, I was particularly upset when I saw the centre being demolished. Reason for that saying, and it was it was so blatant as a governmental thing, because all you have to do was refurbish the centre, in my estimation. Refurbish the centre. You didn't have to break it down and then there was nothing. You know, people, I can remember there were so many classes taking place there, and they said they're breaking down the centre because they put in this place in Coconut Drive, which I refer to as the itself. There's a big thing there, I used to call it the pink elephant.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? As you reach down and you turn right, it's like on the left there. I think there's some kind of process or something going on there right now, which I find didn't make no sense. And it was done not only in Morvant, a lot of other areas that had community centers, they demolished the centers, yes, and put up these buildings, pink buildings. I used to call them pink elephants. And now most of them before.
Yeah, we're there from Seret. Where you see we have the community center coming now, what will it look like if you know all go well for the community? But
the drop in interest in Morvant recognition would have come from when the center disappeared. I think that really held the people in Morvant together. You know, the different events, they would have parties, whatever it is, so that the center was really the hub. And I think with the center being demolished, I think that created a void.
Yeah.
There was no place. I learned to sew in the community center. I did tailoring. My mom used to teach cake icing.
Okay.
And all that kind of thing.
I was looking for the
we did everything. I mean, one year when Morvant was going to the Village Olympics, all the uniform was done home by us. You know, we used to do all the pants with the piping and everything. And we would have won the march past. This is P.G. Wilson was in charge of the team. And
you had interaction with him? Because within the
and was on team where he was physio on the team and that kind of thing. And he used to really look after me because of the Morvant thing, and he said Morvant.
That's very good.
So that you know, I think all those things were things that, you know, lend to building the community. And with the disappearance of those things, it sends, you know, everybody into different directions. You know, where you had the blocks, which is now turned into what people call in gangs. You know, it was blocks, so that you're showing again a team coming from on the block by Chumo, Merryman, Cipriani, 3-4 teams this side here, Manchester, Dabadurti, Coconut Drive, Chenapu, Arundel, 9-story, you know, they had, you know, the Love City, ex-pupil. So that, but as it is now, the youths, you know, they're not into that. And then we have this territorial thing that's going on, so people feel they can't come down here to play. But all of that could be,
abolished with the center.
Yes. And then even if you have, they have the community policing and all of that, you know. When I was running the league, we had a team from in Vegas with deceased Bill. You know.
I heard that name. I know about that guy.
He was very supportive of the league, and they would come up here play. They had no problems. No problems.
That's what I want to hear.
No problems at all with that. I mean, even in the days with Chenapu, with Zhao, and these people, you know, it was a love, because in the end, you see like a Morvant team and people from all these various communities, the block teams that would have formed that.
Okay, we with Rudolph Otley, one of the many accomplished people from Morvant. You are aware that Morvant had the first community center in Trinidad, and are you aware that there's a new one? What do you think about that, and how would that help?
Well, I think again it's a different society at a different time. Young boys don't look good at doing any community center.
You don't think it would be valuable?
It would be valuable, but not to I think should be the target market. The target market should be the 15-year-old to the 25-year-old. A community center, from my perception, unless you're going to have interaction things like computers, it's not going to serve the purpose. A 15-year-old is not going to leave his home, his computer, and go and plug it up in a building whereby a lot of elderly people will be there. Young person in Trinidad, and particularly in North, is technologically based. The iPad, the iPhone, the computer. Unless the community center caters for the modern young person in technology, it's going to be a waste. It must encourage them to continue what they do on their own or at home in the center. Because if they go like the center, okay, for example, the center in Chinopi, when I go. During the day, we play table tennis. And we may have upsetters, we usually have a meeting or so. But the majority of the time was occupied by the older guys who play dominoes and draft late night. And if on a Saturday night you want to play tennis, we couldn't get it. Because for them, that is their time, that's their thing. Alright, so that we almost felt unwanted in the community center, that was for us. And then the older women came and had women meetings, and so it didn't cater for a young person, young children. And I'm saying if that same concept happens in Morvant, the Morvant Community Centre, the new one, and there's not a direct, deliberate attempt at incorporating the young people, and I say the 15-year-old, even younger, whereby the things they do are available in the community centre, it will be just be another space where we reduce back in times parties or show, which is one off. I am talking about a community centre which will have internet cafe, which will have where the games, the electronic games, where you can have somebody can go to a study room and work up on the internet and do their school work. So it has to be things that were different from 1960.
Okay.
So the space is, I have no problem with having space. How they utilize the space, how they compartmentalize the space, because all the things that happen in a building, whereby you have a section,
so they have plenty of room.
A Wi-Fi section, where a Wi-Fi section where the young people will most dominate. Then you have a section where people do handicraft, the more mature people do handicraft. All that is good. But if we go back to the old concept of community centre to have events that like dancing, come over, you have the biggest dance. But in 2015, going into 2020, you need a community centre that is designed for young people. Otherwise it will be a waste of time.
Okay.
Totally designed. As I said, if you ask any young boy passing here, when the concept of a community centre for them, number one, doesn't exist. Because they don't know what that is. Well, what's happening there? What happened in the community centre? Well, because we have meetings. You have to let them know that when they come to the centre, you go up with your iPad and there's something, you will hook up and link up.
If you don't have one, you might be able to utilize
one there, you have an internet cafe, you have a homework centre. Because one of the things they want to do also is to improve the academic level of the youth in the area. A lot of the youth in the area have attended school but have not learned. And when you leave, you see, you find yourself in a challenging position. You go to a school system where you have not learned. You want to learn, but you do not want to access learning because you're embarrassed. You're ashamed. And therefore, you continue now in a life of doing things that are easily accessible to you. Working 10 days, working this, because you don't have to learn those things. Those are just critical things to do. And therefore, learning becomes to me a critical element in getting the young people out of crime. I'm not going to be a doctor or getting a degree.
Well, my name is Akani, and the group that I behind is the Morvant Sports and Cultural EGBE. This is a community-based group which was formed to work with the youth in the community, because when we look around the community, we see a lot of the youth slipping through the cracks. You know, a lot of the discipline that was long time is not again like respect for elders and that kind of thing. So the group was formed to try and work with the youth to see if we could bring back these disciplines. And I personally feel that one of the problems with our youth, African youth, is that they don't have an understanding of the history and the culture. You know, when we look around, we see culture is a guide to all the other ethnic groups. But we lost that, you know, and I feel this is responsible for a lot of them running around like headless chickens. They don't know what direction to take, you know. So our group is to try and bring some knowledge to them. We want to do a lot of educational programs, you know, bringing professional people to do lectures on African history, on African culture, on health and different topics now. You know, this is
the drum is the message with your group. And in hearing your group last night, I was very impressed because that was a deep part of the culture of Morvant. And with the community centre being built behind you, are you going to be embedded as one of the leaders in the drumming section?
Yes, because, well, not you alone, but a lot of people, because like drumming playing Morvant for a while. So a lot of people within hearing the drums, like they just gravitate towards it now, because they say, well, you know how long we in here drums in Morvant, because the group just started about last year. We started back, but we were originally we started in Coconut Drive, and that was in 2001, and we operated until about 2009. Then the group was dormant for a while.
And you decided to pick it up again.
Yeah.
How long ago?
Well, about last year around March, April. Yeah, all around that time last year we started back. We had a big emancipation program in the Savannah there for August the 17th, Marcus Garvey's birthday. We had an emancipation program in the Savannah.
So you mentioned the fact that you're going Best Village, which is one of the competitions before I left here, I migrated, that was big when it comes to mover and different sports. Your group is in the Best Village, is that correct?
Yes, we're taking part in the Best Village this year. We're doing dance and drumology, you know. So
and how is that going?
Well, it's going good. It's going fine because I feel we have a good chance of winning.
Okay, is this the first time?
Yeah, this is the first time that we're going into Best Village.
So it's all casted to experience then?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it lift the spirit of the youths and them in the group too.
How many members are your group?
Well, at present, every day we get new members, Every day we get new members, and at present we could have, let us say, about 22 members.
Okay, you have a limit or the more the merrier?
No, we don't have no limit. If all the youths in Morvant could come into our group, be glad for that, because as I say, it's really an education program we on with the youths now. You know, to build their morals, let them put out, bring out what talent they have, hidden talent inside of them now, exploit, you know, so we are no limit.
What happens from here, I'm going to come down by the group. I don't know how the lighting would fail with the video, but I'll come and hear a couple of the drums. I got to put the drums behind you.
Yes.
I got to make sure I have some drunk song with this interview, all right?
Yes,
okay, and again, your name again, Claire?
Akani.
And what's your official name?
Well, Selwyn Chase.
Selwyn Chase.
Yeah, but everybody know me by Akani, you know what I mean?
All right.
I take back my name as African.
All right. Okay, Akani, thanks for this. Friends and colleagues, schoolmates, classmates. Jacob has a specialty.
At a very tender age, I represented Morvant in the Best Village table tennis tournament, and one of my greatest achievements there was when I met my elder brother, that's Leo Windsor, in a final table tennis. Leo is who taught me the game, and I won the finals. That was my biggest small achievement. And from 74 to 89 when I left the service, I represented the police service for the entire period, my lifespan in the service. I represented them in table tennis. My greatest achievement would be the first World and Police and Fire Games. The first World Police and Fire Games that was held in San Jose, San Diego, California, where I won a silver medal. I was able to come home with a silver medal achievement from the games. And soon after, a few months after that, I won the B class national and went to A class, but the little police thing timed me up, so I gave up table tennis around that time and started a serious police work and started looking at more family life, you know. So that is the history of my achievements. Right now, I still have a table tennis ball in my yard and I play intermittently.
What do you think about the status of Morvant, and do you have any ideas of what you would like to see or what needs to be done? You seen any needs in terms of Morvant?
Well, my greatest need was, still is, to see the community center built so that we will get back the people in the community life. And seeing that it is almost over, my real purpose now is to contribute and try to give back to the community what I have gained, because most of my table tennis practice is in Morvant Community Centre. And I think it's only fair with a little energy and youth still in my favor, if you want to call it youth, that I would give back for that training, because whilst I was in the service, this guy, Alan Hyde, a coach from England, came down and he coached 12 Trinidadians to be coaches. And I was one of them. I represented the police as the coach at that time.
I didn't know that. So you actually could coach tennis?
Yeah.
Okay, not all good.
With a little refresher course.
Yeah, well, not all good players could really coach, and that's good that they have the expertise and stuff.
And the willingness to give back.
Well, in the little history I've seen here, a lot of things, ideas come to the table and they just falter, they don't finish, you know. Do you know why? Is it support? Why things seem to be folding and not completing? You know.
The answer to that, my view, is that people became, I could use the word selfish, but then to decorate that word, I want to say they got caught up in their own personal life, which is selfish. Because they don't have the time to give back. I am also a victim of that. I always feel guilty. That's why on more than one occasion I try to raise little meetings, and it didn't go much because I don't know if that's the reason or not. But I always try to take a back seat because I travel a lot and I didn't want to have a position that would affect the committee and can't give a decision or be part of it. So I always ask for a back seat, never want personal life, and that amount of dedication, you know, they didn't have the time to put it out. Me, I'm one of them. I always in another country, I run a business, so I am caught up with myself also. That's why I never always push for it, but never try to get a leading role.
Yeah,
you know, basically that's it.
So in your nutshell, that you find people, the lack of support was basically a lack of support for various reasons. Do you think it's
I think each person might give a different reason.
Correct.
But lack of support, keyword.
Yeah. So you're looking forward to doing any contribution towards the table tennis area of the Morvant once the community center is developed?
Initially, I already have a relatively new board in my place that I don't play much table tennis that I can contribute, and also I mean, I can contribute my services. You know what I mean? Even if we delegate a coach and I be with the coach to help him coach, or I be the coach, in whatever way I can contribute towards giving back. You know, the skills won't be like before, but the brain will still be there.
We're not too sure about that. We'll have to put that to the test.
Okay, we were Leonard Sparrow, a guy I looked up to in Morvant and stuff. You know about the community center. I mean, we had some conversation about the community center. It's building. It was supposed to be finished in August, and the story goes on. But we run out of time if we say how long this takes this community center to be finished. So understand that you had some interaction and some development in the community center. You know, it was the first in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, I wasn't aware of that, but I always associated with help self-help. If
Right.
there's anything I know about MOVA, we were people involved in self-help.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
Self-help.
Yeah.
That is, we didn't wait on stuff to be done to us. We did, and the people of MOVA played a tremendous role in the struggle for getting the right to vote. My grandmother, by the way, Augusta Wilhelmina Dubique, she was born in Dominica. She had two prayers. She wouldn't say the word Jesus, she would say Shiloh. She said when Shiloh comes, he would greet her in peace. And she wanted the right to vote so that her grandkids could have running water like Bucky Massa grandkids.
Okay.
When I voted in the community health center near the Savannah in Morvant, my mother and dad voted the same day I did. My grandmother didn't vote. She had died. So I pray and ask God, as a man of a spiritual man, a man of prayer, a Seventh-day Adventist in particular, I pray and I ask God to please honor her prayer, to see his face in peace. I get kind of emotional. Because she didn't get the right to vote. She knew her grandmother who had been a slave in Dominica called Dear Dear. She knew her grandmother who had been a slave, Dear Dear, carrying limes to the British ships. And more than anything, she wanted to vote. And this is why all of us as a people, MOVA people, wherever you are, exercise the right to vote. So that, as Dr. Williams, that great man said, every creed and race will find an equal place. Live in a country where there's morality in public affairs.
Thank you.
I'm honored.
Your friend just stepped in here. Akua, he told me he know you so long. You just show your face in this picture with Lennox, please. Your friend just stepped in.
Our parents, our mothers were partisans. The French word. And the partisans came from the people who fought in the French resistance against the Nazis.
Yeah.
Our parents, my mother and her mother, were partisans. Close friends. So we grew together and we struggled here.
I only hear good things about her, you know.
And the thing is that Lennox became the president, I think, of Morvant Literary and Cultural Club at one point, and that's a club that I was a member of. And remember that we went to Better Village.
Yes.
In Queen's Hall.
Yes.
And
we
he
were
was
performing
there.
a play.
Yeah, and it
Lover.
used to be with Lover and all of. And I understand, which is one of the things I want to be clear about, that MOVA was one of the first social housing projects in Trinidad. I have been trying, yes, throughout the Caribbean, and I've been trying to trace that, nobody could tell me whether or not that is true, right? So maybe in your research, you could ask that question, right? Because I would really like to know
how MOVA came to be.
Yes, I really want to know how MOVA come to be, particularly now when they conflate MOVA with Lavantil, something that I don't particularly support.
Hey, Calypso, Reggae, Limbo, Steel Band man. Yes, you, Merengue, Samba, Mambo, Jambo man. How now? Where you going? Hey, you assimilated man, with your wall-to-wall Mark IV, your split-level deep suburban home. So you think they have accepted you, eh? Hey, you brilliant black academic, turning stupid by degrees. BA, MA, PhD atrophy. Why, of course. You worked hard for those degrees. Hey, smart man, money man, businessman, keeping your profile low for what you think we don't know. Your schemer, your hustler, your pimp, your thief, you leech off your own people. Hey, Sambo, black man, island man. So you think you're so different, you're so special and exceptional, that you have no history, no culture, no past, that is only the present counts. Yet it is in their present that you don't count, the present which they now dictate. And if in that present it's your silence they require, how will you count in the future? Hey, not involved, black man that crosses the street when by chance a brother you meet. To where will you cross when the stock market boss and gone wild in the street? Hey, police informer, political worker, social worker, educator, and culture buff. The bane of the race is the black traitor. So how come you say you're helping your people when in fact you're ripping them off. Hey, revolutionary brother, with a heavy rap, rapping on Marx and Lenin and Mao, confusing society, confusing ideology, with no definition and no conviction of your own race, your own culture and nation. Then you blindly apply social science or style to make confusion, but not revolution. Hey, West Indian man, how you doing? Hey, man, how you doing?